So the question for this presentation is what changes are possible to the company structure after it is incorporated? Can the officers, shareholders of the company, can those be changed? And can the activities of the company change? So people often have a question that I've incorporated a company, but I want to make some changes. What changes are possible and what changes are not possible? Is it that once company is incorporated, everything is cast in stone and I cannot change anything? Or what can be done? So let's have a look in this presentation. So in Singapore, when you incorporate a company, you specify many things at the time of incorporation. And typically, the things those are required is the name of the company, activities in which it will be involved, address of the company, initial share capital, details of the directors, secretary, auditors if applicable, and details of the shareholders. Now, when all these details are available, a company is incorporated, and as I mentioned to you, people wrongly presume that once the setup is complete, these things cannot be changed. However, that is not the case. So let's have a look on what things can be changed and what things cannot be changed. So when it comes to the name of the company can be changed anytime. Now each of these change that I am referring here has its own procedure of resolution and steps in ACRA. But name can be easily changed. Activities of the company can be easily changed anytime. And address of the company can be easily changed anytime. So if you change your office place, it needs to be updated within 7 or 14 days. When it comes to the officers of the company, in case of directors, resignation of director is possible, new appointment of director is possible, removal of director is also possible. So if one of the director is not resigning or he has been asked to leave the position by the company decision, and if he is not taking the appropriate action and not providing resignation, removal is also possible. And the same applies to secretary and auditor. Now in case of auditor, resignation or removal takes a little bit of extra process, because auditors, if it is removed, then it is a bit of a serious matter. But that applies only if audit is applicable to your company and you are removing the auditor. Now when we come to the shareholders, in case of shareholders, these changes you can make. For example, you can issue additional shares to existing shareholders. For example, you started company with $10,000 capital and afterwards you found that there is a good scope in that business. Therefore, you plan to bring in more capital. So you can issue additional shares. You can bring in new shareholders. For example, you might get funding from somebody and they might be interested in taking the shares in your company. So you can appoint new shareholders. So right now there might be only one shareholder, that is you, but subsequently you might get a friend or maybe a venture capitalist to act as a shareholder. You can transfer the complete shareholding. This is possible when the business is sold. So you have running business, but you don't want to continue with that. So you might sell it to another company and 100% shareholding will go from your name to the new party's name. You can change the constitution of the company, memorandum and articles of association, which is signed at the time of incorporation of the company. So even if it is one of the founding document, it can be changed later on by the prescribed procedure. So for transfer of shares and change of constitution, the procedure is slightly complicated compared to issue of additional shares and bringing in new shareholders. Reduction of share capital is also possible, but it is complicated process. So in case you started company with a huge capital initially and subsequently you want to reduce it, that is also possible. So in summary, after incorporation of the company, almost everything pertaining to the company can be changed, except obviously UN number and the incorporation date.
Thank you for watching this video. This video was brought to you by Epica Consulting Singapore. Subscribe to our channel today to get notified when new videos are posted.